That's Jason Wallace. He's Executive Director of the Mayor's Office on Fathers, Men, and Boys. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Going to get to your office and what you do. This is something that was started by the mayor. But what do you make of the principle asking fathers to bring their children to school today?
I think it's a great thing. However, we can't forget that fathers bring their kids to school every single day, and they've been doing it. It's great to do it, of course, on the first day, but I see so many fathers that do it every single day.
Yeah, I'm sitting here as a product of a single-parent home, and I'm just wondering if the kids that don't have fathers, if they're not singled out by something like this, just the perception, what happens there.
Well, I think there are enough organizations in the district that support that if you can, and there's also uncles, there's grandfathers, there's men at church that will participate and step up if they don't have a father in the house.
And in this community, in D.C., there are also fraternities that step up here. The Kappas, for one, we're out there today, welcoming kids, to school at the high schools and other places.
And a lot of schools have that gauntlet where they have men on both sides high-fiving kids as soon as they walk through the doors.
Yeah. Fathers, Men, and Boys. What's this program about?
Yeah, so the agency focuses on disparities for men of color in the district. So down to connecting men with their children, whether it's our Father Fun Days, where we go out and have a good time, no-cost events that we cover so you can spend time with your families, all the way down to policy recommendations that we provide for the mayor or other agencies.
You depend on volunteers for anything?
We work with nonprofits that do depend on volunteers. So a lot of our work is supporting the work of nonprofits for boys of color. So whether it is a small organization, or we have our My Brother's Keeper Summit coming up on September 5th from 3 to 8 at the Convention Center, and we have 50 organizations there that do work for boys of color, that we help them get volunteers, to build sustainability, and to get connected to the community.
Yeah, you're getting to my point. Mentoring, young black boys, used to be something that was huge, that everybody felt compelled to do.
Yeah.
Is that waning, or are people still in there, in the trenches, men that have their own families? Are they spending that extra weekend, that extra time with that kid who doesn't have it?
Absolutely, I see it all the time. One of the reasons why people don't volunteer is because there's a stigma around time. Do I have enough time to do this? And there's so many ways to volunteer now, to where it doesn't have to be one-on-one. It can be group mentorship. If you don't feel like you have the time to do it, of course one-on-one is ideal, but group mentorship works just as well. And there's tons of organizations doing that work.
Yeah, another thing I say to these guys, okay, you don't have the time, but you got the dollars. Donate to one of these organizations. Okay. We were talking earlier, you don't know the numbers, I don't know the numbers. How many kids are in our public schools, for example, from single-parent homes who don't have any kind of communication with their fathers?
Yeah.
That has an impact on a child, don't you think?
It absolutely does. And some of the data around single mothers, right? So just because someone is a single mother does not mean that the father is not involved in their child's life.
Absolutely.
So we're actually doing a campaign called Flip the Script, where we're highlighting positive images of males of color in the media, on buses, metro stations, all throughout the city. That'll be starting in a couple of weeks. You'll see pictures of me and my son up, and as well as a few other men, about 16 other men that participated in the campaign.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate we have to do this, but there are a lot of things that are unfortunate that we have to spend time to correct.
Yeah.
Jason Wallace, thanks. Nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Okay, appreciate the work that you do too.
Yeah, thank you so much.